Hello everyone, welcome back. Hello friends, welcome back. Today I have a haul for you. I went over to Ollie's. They have these, when I went over there, they have these tall things, a lemon iced tea. And I love lemon iced tea, and I like to sometimes just have it in the evening when I don't want something hot. I'll drink that lemon iced tea. It's like $6 for one of the real big ones, so I had to get that. So I went all the way over there to get that. But you know, and once you get inside Ollie's, you gotta look around for other stuff and see. So, cause I'm a crafter, you know I was gonna go over to that craft section, and I did. And I picked up a few things. So the first thing I picked up that I want to share is they had these Cricut True Control combo kits. Now I have a Cricut knife, but I got just that knife. I never got the inserts for it, so as soon as it got dull. But I looked on Amazon, and this thing's like $25, so $4.99, good buy. So if you see it, pick it up. Plus, this is a real nice X-Acto cutting knife. I mean, I can't cut very straight, but with this one, I can do good, and now I'm happy that I got the inserts, the extra knives to go with it. Then while they were doing Cricut stuff, they had the Cricut watercolor cards. Now, I had bought these watercolor cards last year because when I did my Christmas cards for the book exchange, we do cards every year, and I did mine on watercolor cards so I could paint what I, use paint to paint when I stamp my watercolor paints. So these were only $1.79, but I remember when I bought them at Joann's, when Joann's was open, they were like $5 for it, but they were watercolor, so I was willing to pay the $5 so I could play around with it. So I got a couple of these. Then you can't help it when you get the, mounting squares and stuff like this. And this was 99 cents. So, if you get the mounting squares over at Dollar Tree now, they're over $1. So I got that. And I picked up another one of these Pebbles dies that cut shapes and things like that, because when I'm cutting sometimes and I'm mass producing cards, I wish I had two of them so I could do it. And since they were $1, I decided to just get another one. So when I get ready to do my Christmas cards, I'll have all that, and I can cut really fast. So the next thing I got was the Vicky Boutin mixed media paper. Now this is really good premium paper from Vicky Boutin for you can paint on it, all kind of mixed media on it. And I remember seeing this at Joann's, and it was $19.99 or something like that. And I was like, nah, I can't get that. But for $1.99, I picked up two of them. And I got to stop. You know how everybody says I got to stop picking up paper? I got to stop picking up watercolor paper because I don't know how I'm going to use it all. I got to start painting right away. I got to start just throwing paint on palettes and stuff like that to get rid of all this paper. But I got another one of those. And excuse me for sniffling, because I got a little sniffle. Back again in that watercolor vein. Oh, I think I tilted my camera. In that watercolor vein of me getting watercolor stuff. Arteza. No, I don't think this is Arteza. I think this is Paper Fashion. Had some hot press watercolor paper. Now the hot press watercolor paper is really good because it's really smooth, and it's usually very, very expensive. It says it was $30.99. I can believe that because I only have one pad, well, not a whole pad anymore because I'd be practicing doing all that stuff of the watercolor paper, and I paid a pretty amount for it. So if you see this is a good buy for $2.99. And I got a couple of those. I told you I'm going to be painting my heart out, right? Then, while I was there, what else did I find? Wait a minute. So then, I found this little portable sewing machine. Now, I have a sewing machine, and I get it out every now and then because I usually say I want to sew something on a card, or I want to sew something in a journal or something like that. but I don't feel like going and get my big machine out, put it on the desk, take stuff. So I'm going to try this. I already tried it, and it does work, but I don't have my little sample of what I sewed on. Oh, I did try it. Let me show you. So I did try it. It does sew. See, there it is. It did sew on there. It did sew on there. I just, I got to practice some more, tighten up the tension and stuff like that. I just wanted to test it and see if it works. So it does work. So I'll be sewing on stuff without getting my big machine out and doing all that stuff. And it was easy to use. Runs by, and it's battery operated. So I got that. Then they had these. These were at Joann's, and they were pretty expensive at the time. But they had this. It had a black one and I think it was a white one there or something like that. But I just got one because I don't really need any more paper. And it's just, the paper's nice. Not really thick, but it's nice. You can make a journal out of it. And I like to make journal. I make everything a journal. So, and it has this ribbon, so I can change the ribbon with color or whatever. Or I could change it and take this off. Because you can put another picture in here if you want a picture. Or you could just put the words, my journal, in here. Whatever you want to do, and you can decorate the cover if you want. So I got that. Then, let's see. Then what did I do? Then I moseyed over to, no, I got two more things. I moseyed over to the coloring book section. And I like to color. So it says learn to draw imaginative fairies in vivid colors. Remember, I got all that watercolor paper now. So I got to learn how to draw something on there and paint. So that's what I got to do. So this is a fairies book. It's like really nice. I think I bought this before, but I remember giving a couple of my fairy books away. So this one I'm going to keep and try to do the watercoloring and all that stuff. That's kind of cool. So that's the one fairy book, and it's for colored pencil. And then I got this fairy book. It's a fairy book in patterns, a source for artists and craftspeople. That's me, craftspeople. I can't be called artist yet, but, So it has all these kinds of things in it. So you can, learn how to draw the fairies. But if I decide I'm not going to draw the fairies and I do another fairy journal, I'll take some of these pages out. It tells you all about the wings and how to draw it and stuff like that. So this is going to be fun. The Great Book of Fairy Patterns. So I got that one. And then I was looking at videos on, I think it's Planner Time with Michael. Hi, Michael. He got this. And I said, when I go to the store, I'm going to look for it because I'm still working on my crime journal. So I'm still working on it. I still got stuff, but before I actually cut this up and put it in my journal, I think I'm going to actually play the game and see if I can solve it. If anybody else has this out there, and if you're going to, before you cut it up to do your stuff with, let's kind of talk about if we can solve this. That would be fun if everybody had it and we kind of talked about it and go, pinch your murder, I figured this out, and everybody else can chime in. That would be fun. So I got that, and then since I by now probably own stock, I went over to Michael's after I did all that. I probably own stock in Michael's double-sided adhesive sheets. Now, if you haven't used the double-sided, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, there we go. If you haven't used the double-sided adhesive sheets, you really should try these. These are really nice, and they work very well, especially if you have something big and you want to do it without using a whole bunch of strips. Perfect, perfect. I wholeheartedly support that. Then I was over there, and they had something new that I'd never seen before. It was a Brea Reese scratch pad. So I said, you know what? That looks good. While I'm watching TV, I could do it. So last night, let's see if I still have it in. Last night, I was watching TV, and I actually did one. Look at that. That looks pretty good. So I actually scratched it, and I did this one, and it came out pretty good. I'm thinking I can use this on a journal face. I can use it inside a journal. I can use it with a card and everything. You get 14 6x8 sheets, two each of 7 designs, a dual tip stylus, and a brush. So this is what's inside this one. They had a whole bunch of them. I'll probably, go back over there and take a picture of them and post them in a short so everybody can see what they had. But these were fun to do. I did this last night while I was watching TV, and it turned out really nice. I wasn't really scraping good at first, but excuse me, I still got my allergy thing going or whatever it is. If you saw my video, me and those bugs, I still got that going on. But anyway, please forgive my sniffling. So it has those designs. So I'm looking forward to doing them. Like this door, I want to put it on the front of my December daily journal and make that door open or something like that once I get it all scratched and things like that. So these are good for I'm going to use these in my December journal. So they're Brer Reese. And Brer Reese has a whole bunch of stuff. I remember once having some of her alcohol inks. So that was my Ollies and a short stop at Michael's to pick up the double-sided tape. Let me know, have you seen any of these things at your Ollies? And don't forget, if you actually see that X-Acto knife type thing, pick that up. I'm going to tell you whether you craft like that or not, you could really use that. Opening mail, if that's what you want to do, but that is one good one. That is a good one. So let me know what you think. Would you ever try the scratch and scratch art pad? So let me know. I'll talk to you all in my next video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're not a subscriber here, press that subscriber button. I love to have you as part of my crafty family. I hope you enjoy my content. My main thing that I say on this channel when I close out a video is self-care is not selfish. Do whatever you can to take care of yourself. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye now.